Right, we're streaming on two platforms and we're waiting for the third one, and we are live on three platforms. Good evening and welcome, everybody. We are doing a live stream once again. It's Monday night, every Monday night, right here. It's called Limitless, and this is where we share our hearts, talk about things that holds us back. The last couple of sessions, we spoke a lot about what I call cages that limit us, and how do we break out of these cages? How do we set ourselves free from unnecessary limitations that we do create in our lives? Tonight, I am going to talk about a topic that I hold dear to my heart, that I believe is absolutely critical. That's a vital topic. And I'm going to be talking about authenticity. And originally, when I sat down and I was thinking, how am I going to phrase this? My mind went and thought, well, maybe I should talk about toxic authenticity. And I don't know if the topic sat that well with me. The word toxic and authenticity, when they're in the same sentence, just didn't feel right. So I decided to just call it authenticity. So, why is it that I want to talk about authenticity, and what are we going to talk about tonight? So, firstly, I'm going to explain what I believe to be the importance of it, the reason it is empowering and freeing, and probably the best gift you can give yourself. Absolute true authenticity, I'm going to say this again, is probably the best gift you can give yourself. It's a powerful gift you can give yourself. Authenticity, to be absolutely authentic and to live an authentic life. What a phenomenal gift. So tonight, hang on, because I want to take you through a little bit of a process, and I want to teach you guys a strategy and a structure, how to find your authentic life and how to build a strategy to be able to live that authentic life. So, what is your authentic life? What does it look like? And how do you get in there? So, why do we want to live an authentic life? Well, the world we live in at the moment, there's too many people that are completely lost. If you speak to a lot of people around the world, a lot of them are going to say, I don't know who I am. I can't find myself. I've lost myself. I don't know where I'm going. I'm not sure what my identity is. I'm a little bit confused about me, myself, and I. And I think the concept of authenticity, if we understand it properly, if we understand it deeply, will probably make that or that big shift that you are looking for, and it'll bring that change in your life to really find yourself. So one can say authenticity is being the real you, living the real you. Now, the world we live in, there's a lot of people that are trying to be authentic. Let me explain what that means. If you take your cell phone and you decide you're going to take a selfie, how many selfies do you take? One, and then post that one? Or do you take 20 and then go through and select which one is the one that you like the most? Why do we select the one we like the most if we are authentic? Well, that's where the conundrum comes in. That's where the challenge comes in, because we want to present ourselves properly to the world. We want to put our best foot forward, but we also want to be able to do that authentically. And the challenge is sometimes we present ourselves in such a fake way, and we wear so many masks in so many different environments, that we actually get to a point where we don't even know really who we truly are. We don't know, you know, what's the proper version of me? What's the authentic version of me? Which one of these masks is the real me? Which one of those 20 selfies that I took is the real me? And I'm not saying it's wrong to take your 20 selfies. Don't go and say, Dion said I can't take anymore. No, take your 20 selfies. Nothing wrong in presenting yourself. Tonight, I'm talking about authenticity. One of the things I did is I put on a jacket. And I love wearing a jacket. It makes me feel comfortable. Some people look at wearing a jacket and say, well, you're presenting yourself in a way that you not truly aren't. Well, I'm not going to be naked, and I'm not going to wear, old dirty clothes. I like wearing a jacket, even though this one looks like it needs a clean. Oh, that's the way the shadows are falling. I'm very comfortable. So wearing a jacket is part of my authenticity. So it depends who you are and what you really want to do, and nothing wrong in presenting the good side of yourself. So what is it we really want to look at? We want to look at, and I think, are you the real you, or are you a person that is a result of external influences and the opinions of others? I think that's probably the clearest, closest way. We can say that on the one side we've got authenticity and the other side we've got fake. But then we also have to ask, where exactly is that line? They're not, I mean, how far is fake away from authenticity and how far is authenticity away from fake? Because again, I would go into a public area and I will dress up, look proper, and I will present the best version of myself in a public area. Does that make me unauthentic? Or is my desire to present myself a true, authentic desire? So there's a lot of questions we have to ask ourselves around authenticity. So tonight we're going to we're going to tackle a little bit of the processes that really does make us authentic, and how do I find my authentic self? How do I find the real me? And how do I live the real me? So let's jump in and start with that immediately. So the first thing I want to do, and I'm explaining a process, not something that I just designed and thought, okay, this is interesting to teach. This is something I actually found myself doing a couple of years ago. I did it probably the first time about 15 years ago, and I do it about every 3 years because what I have realized, the authentic Dion goes through a metamorphosis. The Dion that was authentic 5 years ago looks different to the Dion today. And if I try and be the me of 5 years ago, am I being authentic in the present? So be appreciative of the fact that you will go through a metamorphosis, you will go through change, and some of the things that was an authentic you 5 years ago, not authentic you anymore, and you've changed. So this process you can do on a regular basis on yourself, and I do believe it's going to help you. I want to say this again, it's probably the best gift you're going to give yourself. Just go through this process. So where do we start? We start with our values. We need to really sit down, be absolutely honest with ourselves, and write down what are the things in life I value. Is it relationships with whom? Your partner, your children, your parents, your siblings, your family, your friends, your colleagues, um, your community. Who do you what part of relationships? Do you value integrity? Do you value honesty, ethics, intention? Do you value education? Do you value personal development? Do you value relaxing time, lazy time, couch potato time? Do you value your job? Do you value the quality of life that money can buy? What do you value? Go and sit down and write down at least, at minimum, 30 values, things that you value. If you can't sit down and write 30, oh, come on, call me. You need a coaching session. We need to know what it is that we value in this world. So you can use a non-construct value, things like integrity, honesty, kindness, openness. Those are values, non-construct values, or you can use verb-based values. I value going on long walks. I value going into nature. So make a list of about 30 of those values. That's the first thing you want to do, and just be very, very honest about them. Why are values important in living an authentic life? I think the best explanation probably is values is the compass. It's the North Star because some of the values are very difficult to box and clearly define. And sometimes we need something that we can look at that gives us the direction in life. And my values, absolutely, that's my North Star. I know exactly what they are. I live by them. I've constructed a whole strategy, and it's my banner. It allows me to know where I'm going. It's the internal compass of life, if you will. How's that for a nice way of saying it? Internal compass. I actually like that. I'm going to coin that statement. It's my internal compass of who I am and what I deem to be important in this life. So you sit down and write down at least 30. If you can write down 100, even better. Just take your time and write them down. Some people struggle. So you can go and sit, just a practical tip. You can go and sit and ask yourself, what stage in my life did I feel really confident? Did I feel very pleased with self? Did I feel really good? That I was happy in? That I felt satisfied? Even a little bit of, I felt a bit proud. When was that in your life? Then ask yourself, okay, what were the elements at play? What were the values at play? What were the principles at play? And that can help you stimulate your mind to start unpacking some of your values. That'll give you an indication of what are the values that really does bring you joy and that is high on your priority list of values. Some values will be more important than others. So the first three or four, five, you'll probably write down very quickly because they are your priority values. And then you'll start taking a little bit longer time to start defining some of the lower values. But the more you can put down, the better, because it's going to tie into the next phases that I'm going to explain to you guys. So, what are the next phases? Step two. Step two is the step of courage, courage to live your values. So, if you want to live an authentic life, you need to apply courage. You need to apply courage. What does that mean? It means being comfortable in the fact that your decisions, which are aligned with your internal compass, may not always align with external expectations from society. That's probably the toughest statement to make and one of the hardest things to live sometimes, but it's one of the most empowering concepts that you can live by. Find out what your values are, what's your internal compass, write them down, and then start applying them in your life slowly but certainly. Don't try and do all at once. But sit down and ask yourself, how can I apply this? Even if it's in small things, even if it's in just the occasional time where you just need to say no in the right moment or say yes at the right moments. Because it takes courage to say yes or no. And it takes some kind of a compass to know when to say yes and when to say no. And your values is the best compass that you can have, your internal compass, because that'll tell you which areas of life can I say yes to, which areas of life can I say no to. So once you've sat down and you've defined your values, that was step one. Step two is go sit and ask yourself, how can I make manifest these values? What is the areas of life where I need to apply a little bit more courage to stand up to these values of mine? Some areas of life could be in the work environment. I know a lot of people that have got very strong value system, but at work they wear a massive mask. None of their values manifest. The company they might even work for has got a strategy where they do business that's in direct conflict with your personal values. Here's the thing. If we live a fake life and we don't live up to our values, we might experience some level of short-term pleasure, but you are going to pay a long-term price. Because if you're not living up to your values, it's going to create anxiety, it's going to create fear, it's going to create negative emotions, even depression can start kicking in. Not living up to your values is almost the same as allowing a cancer into your body and being aware of it and not doing anything about it. It's going to chew you up little bit by little bit. It's slowly but surely going to chip away from your character, from your integrity, from your personal confidence, and your self-esteem. One of the best gifts you can give yourself is identify your values and apply the courage to live them. So you sit down and ask yourself, which areas of your life are you putting on a very, very thick mask? Were you hiding from your own values? And ask yourself if you are courageous enough to start saying yes or no in the right moments. Number three, once you know your values and once you've realized that you are courageous enough to live those values, now you're at a stage where you can start clarifying who you are. Now, This sounds extremely simplistic. Clarify who you are. Well, I know my values and I've got the courage to do them. How do I clarify who I am? Well, I'm going to explain. I'm going to give you guys a really smart strategy. This is the one that I use, and I'm going to explain to you guys how to do it. But I first want to talk about the importance of this. I want you to understand that if you are very, very clear on who you are, you've got the perfect roadmap for the rest of your life. Imagine for a moment that I live in Joburg. So I'm in Joburg and I want to go down to Cape Town. I want to go visit my sister in Cape Town. I know exactly where she stays. I know how to get there. My clarity of my values and the fact that I'm living them becomes a very clear roadmap from where I am to where I'm going. So let's assume I'm going down to Cape Town. If I'm driving past a city like Bloemfontein, there might be a sign on the side of the road saying, best cake ever, 300 kilometers down this road. Well, if I'm going to drive down 300 kilometers down that road to have a nice slice of cake, I have to drive down back 300 kilometers again. That is absolutely going to delay me. If I fall for that diversion the first time, there's a large probability that on that 300 kilometer diversion, another sign can divert me again, another sign can divert me. And at the end of the day, I end up right to the north of Johannesburg and I'm completely away from my destination. So, clarity of my values and the courage to apply them allows me to define who I am, to find clarity in who I am, and really know what is my fullness of my true identity. And that gives me this clear roadmap so that I can navigate life so much easier. Because here's the thing, if I've got this very beautiful, clear roadmap, I only have to answer one or two questions in life, one of two. And that is everything I do, every decision I make, every choice I make, every behavior, every response, every reaction, does it take me closer to my destination or is it a diversion? If the answer is it's a diversion, then I don't do it. I don't submit to it. I don't entertain it. I don't allow it. If the answer is it's taking me closer to my destination, then the answer is let's go for it. Let's do it. This is right for me. So it makes decisions easy. So let me give you an example. If you've got clarity on who you are and where you're going in life, and let's add in something. Let's say you've decided peace, personal time, nature, and family relationships is important to you, and that's on your value list. And you get a job offer that's going to take you to another country where you're going to work yourself into a coma. So you've got no peace, you've got no personal relationships, and you're not going to have family time. But the money is good. Normally, that would be a very, very difficult decision to make because we're going to look at the money and we're going to think about what this money can buy, and we're going to say, oh, this is a great decision. I need to grab this. But if I have clarity on who I am and what my value systems are and what my journey of life looks like, then the decision becomes easy because all I do is I can look at that offer and I can say, well, does it match my value system? Does it match what I've defined, who I am and where I'm going? If the answer is yes, cool, we go for it. If the answer is no, well, then it's an easy decision, right? So understanding with clarity who you are and where you're going in this life, having that fullness of your own authenticity about who you are becomes a very easy life because now navigate life based on who I really am, what my values are, and not the opinions of others, not the influence. I'm not looking for the approval of thousands of people I hardly know. I don't have that pressure to perform in a way to put smiles on other people's faces because that's what a lot of people do. They fall in this trap where it could be a cultural upbringing, it could be something that the family believes and has enforced upon them. And they fall in this trap where in this performance mode, really, to live up to the expectations of others. That's not authentic, that's fake. Even if you believe in your heart, I'm an honest person, I live with integrity, I'm a good person, I'm doing this because I love them, all these statements you can use to justify, but all you're doing is you're just making excuses and you're allowing yourself to drift away from the authentic you. And I absolutely guarantee you, you're going to wake up one morning or you're going to go sleep one night, and there's a voice in your head that's going to say, I'm desperately unhappy. I don't know what's happened. How did I end up here? What went wrong? Well, the answer is simple. You didn't know what your values were. You didn't apply the courage to live up to them, and you didn't have clarity about who you are. So your decisions is like taking a decision in muddy water. You couldn't see clearly which decision in life serves you and which decision does not serve you. So I've got family and friends. They've left the country. They live in other countries. Some of them ecstatically happy. If you talk to them, I say, best choice I ever made. Some of them are extremely unhappy because that environment does not offer them the opportunity to live with the values they had in this country. So there's a myriad of areas. Some people enter into relationships, lifetime relationships, marriages with people based on the opinions and expectations of their families and friends and what they believe society says is the right or the wrong thing to do. And they become unauthentic, they become fake. And that doesn't mean they're liars, doesn't mean they're unethical, doesn't mean that, their hearts are black as and cold as stone. It's the average person, the nice people that fall into this trap. It's the people with true intentions that fall into this trap because we want to make other people happy. But what we don't realize very often that is the short-term price or the short-term gain we get for a long-term price. The essence of this concept, it's absolutely not what the world wants from you. It's all about what is true for you. And are you prepared to go on a journey and build a strategy about what is true for you and then apply the courage and live it? Let's see. Let's figure out how to build that strategy. Let's go into a little, very easy, short, 3 steps only strategy. And if you're a coach and if you're on this platform, there's a high probability you are. This is something you can absolutely use with your clients if they want to find themselves, if they feel they lost. Brilliant little strategy, and it works extremely well. So how does the strategy work? Well, firstly, what you want to do is go put yourself in a very calm, relaxed state. Maybe put on some soft music in the background, um, dim the lights a little bit, light a candle or two, not necessarily romantic, but a very calm environment. An environment where if you close your eyes and you can start drifting into your own imagination, there's going to be no harsh distractions. No dog is going to bark in your ear. No one's going to come in and scream, Mommy, I want food. So go find a time of the day, a space where you can go sit and you can just really, really relax and just go quiet for a couple of minutes first. That's the first phase. Just go quiet. Let this buzz, this hum, this noise of the world just quiet in your own mind. And then allow your imagination to start to drift. Let it drift into your future, your beautiful, magnificent future. And allow your imagination to drift possibly to about 10 years from now. And somewhere in that future of 10 years, I want you, and if you can drift 20 years, drift 20 years. But let's say we're drifting 10 years from now. I want you to find a day in that future, just one day, an average day, but a day into that idyllic future, a beautiful future. Keep it realistic, but keep it fulfilling. Imagine a future you 10 years from now. Forget about resources, forget about having all the money in the world, forget about having the perfect partner. Don't go over the top. Don't go radically ridiculous in this dream. Try and keep it as realistic and as level-headed as possible. But make sure it puts a smile on your face. Not a ha ha, just a smile. Make sure that day puts a smile on your face and is really fulfilling. Now ask yourself a couple of questions around that day. Where are you? What country? What suburb? What building? Are you at work? Are you at home? Are you outside in nature? Where are you? Look around. Try and notice as much detail about your environment that you possibly can. Then ask yourself, are there other people around me? Who are they? What are they doing? What activities are they busy with? What relationship or connection are they to me 10 years from now? Then ask yourself, what are we talking about if we are? What am I saying? What are they saying? What's the topics of discussion? Listen, hear the voices, hear your voice. Notice even how you say things in that magnificent future state. What do you do for a living? Ask yourself in that future life. What's your purpose of waking up on a Monday morning? What do you do when you're awake? From the time you rise until the time you go to sleep. Allow your mind to play that movie just a little bit, that idyllic and yet realistic, that very fulfilling, gloriously beautiful future you. What does that life look like on that side? What does that day look like? Where do you wake up? Who do you interact with? What do you go do in your day? Do you earn money and how? What is even possibly your title? What do people call you? Who's around you and where are you? And now ask yourself the last but important question on that little process. What are you feeling? Are you feeling a sense of fulfillment? Are you feeling peace? Are you feeling calm? Are you comfortable in your own skin? Are you feeling good? If the answer is yes to those, then you got that. Now you can go to the next step. If the answer was no, I'm feeling a state of discomfort or feeling a little bit anxious, change the scenery until you get to a point where now I feel great. This just feels right. Now we can go to phase two. Phase two, what are your non-negotiables in that future? What are some of the things that you're not going to let go of? What are some of the things that you absolutely believe you need? What are some of the things, for example, I'm a pet lover. I love my dogs. I absolutely love my dogs. My future Dion, he's got a lot of pets. Not a lot. Well, he's got two or three. He's got pets. He's got dogs there. Absolutely. It's a non-negotiable. I cannot and will not take a job in the world. Doesn't matter where it is. If it's not pet friendly, I ain't going. It's just simple. It's a non-negotiable. So know what your non-negotiables are and check that scenario in your future. Are your non-negotiables, are they ticked? It could be creativity, it could be financial freedom, it could be your connection with family, it could be ability to have a great view. It doesn't really matter what it is. These are your non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables? Build them into that picture. Build them into that picture. Don't go to the last phase until you've got that picture, puts a smile in your face, and you feel that beautiful state of comfort when you have it. Now, here's what we do now. Are you ready? This is the last phase. Now you've got to jump right to the end of your life, just before the end of your life. And when you are there, because remember now, you've gone 10 years into your future. And in 10 years from now, you've created this blissful, calm, magnificent, beautiful life. Now I want you to jump even further into your future. Maybe a day or a week. You don't know what day you're going to die, do you? I don't think you do. But let's imagine you do and go to about a week before that. And from that vantage point, I want you to look back from this 10-year mark to there. Are you ready? Now ask yourself, what's in place? What are the strategies? What are the structures? What is the recipe that I have followed to get to where I am? In other words, if you would write your own eulogy and you would write a book about the journey of my last 50 years, what would you write in that book? What are the strategies? What are the decisions? Who are you? Who did you define yourself to be? Because here's the secret of authenticity. Authenticity is not being someone that is a result of the winds of society. Authenticity is having clarity about who I am and what's important to my values, my internal compass. Then structuring a life, a route, a path, a journey, a map to move from where I am in a very clear, specific direction to achieve a life where my values are fully manifest. So, how do I get there? I reverse engineer it. I go 10 years into my future, create that idyllic, perfect me. I then go further into my future. I look back and I say, how did I get here? How did, from this day, what does my journey look like? What did I do? What are the roles I played? How did I come forward? How did I come across to people? What are the type of topics I spoke of? What are the career choices I made? What was the business or personal choices, relationship choices, financial choices? What was all those decisions I made? In other words, my strategy and my structure to create the authentic life because I know what my values are, what my true desires in this world is. What is that strategy? Now, here's the beautiful thing. And I mentioned this earlier. What am I doing here? I'm creating a perfect roadmap. So now it becomes easy because now every decision is either taking me towards that life or it's taking me away from that life. Second thing I can do, I can now look at that journey and ask, what baggage am I carrying now? It's going to be tough for some of you. What baggage am I carrying now that I need to leave right here? For me to live the authentic journey of life, because authenticity is not a stagnant state. It's a movement, it's a journey. For me to live that authentic life, that authentic journey of life, what do I need to put down right now? Ask yourself that question. And then ask yourself, what's the first step I can take now? What does that strategy look like? What's the second step? Write them down. What's the third step? What's the fourth step? Go write them down so your hand can write them, your eyes can see them, verbalize them, say them out loud so your ears can hear it. I've been doing this for the last almost 20 years of my life. I had this epiphany when I was in my late 30s, early 40s. And I've been living this. And I almost want to say it feels like I've stopped aging because of it. Some people age very, very fast. And I think it's the worries of life that makes us age. Where if we live in our own authenticity, we have less worries, we have less stress. Things don't stress us up that much because we very easily go, well, is this a line or is it not? Is it taking me there or is it not? And life becomes so much easier, but not just easier. There's a sense of bliss that starts manifesting when we live our authenticity, when we live that authentic roadmap. And bliss is basically, I'm experiencing today that the dreams of yesterday are manifesting in my world. And if you want to really experience bliss in this life, I really believe design your authentic life. It's your life after all. You might design it and may design it the way you choose to based on your values. No other person in this entire world has got the right to tell you what your life should look like. You've got that right. Look, we're a community. We've got laws, we've got guidelines that we all adhere to because we want to succeed and live as part of a society, and that's fine. But there are certain values that I have. No one's going to change my values. No one's got the right to tell me what I must believe to be right or wrong for me. I've got the right to do that. And I've got the right to have clarity around that. I've got the right to apply the courage to live up my values. I've got the right to say no, and I've got the right to say yes when I decide to. And I've got a right to understand what my journey looks like. And I've got the right to walk that right. If someone asks me, what is true empowerment? Clarity about your authentic life that you are on is the best true empowerment you can give yourself. Because again, it allows you to leave the baggage that's not serving you, pick up the skills, the capabilities, the talents, the gifts, and journey into that authentic life that can be only you. Live limitless, be limitless, but be it authentically. Because in the long term, it's what's going to bring joy, what's going to bring bliss, and it's going to bring a magnificent sense of satisfaction. So I trust you enjoyed this little session tonight. If you have got any comments, I am quite willing and able. I think I've got my software sorted where I can actually see some of the comments. Um, to be or not to be, yeah, Kobus, that's not a bad statement. Um, Someone saying amazing topic, entering La La Land, where answers take form. Ah, very true, Lynn. So good, very nice. Go with hello, worm. Ah, beautiful souls. So over the next couple of episodes, one of the things we're going to start doing is we're going to start inviting some guests onto this platform. And one of our future guests are on here now. Kobus, you're going to be one of our future guests, right? You can type in the comments there if you are watching this, if you want him to be on. There's a few people that I'm seeing it's going to be future guests on our platform. So I'll see you all very soon. Be blessed. Have an amazing evening, and I'll see you on the next episode. Cheerio, bye.